Hi, I'm Campbell Stewart. I'm just a normal 33-year-old guy living with my wife Nicole, my two daughters Sophie and Emerson, my two dogs in the city of Richmond, Virginia. A couple years ago my life would dramatically change and a new mission would arise, all due to the day that we found out that our daughter Sophia has autism. I was at work. My wife called. "She's on the spectrum," she sobbed. The confirmation of the problems that we had had at Romp and Roll, the behavioral issues, the non-verbal stimming, the lack of verbal communication, and the lack of eye contact has a name: autism. I began crying tears not shed since my dad passed away many years ago. What had we done wrong, I thought? Surely this can't be right. I'd like to say that I handled the news with steely resolve and courage, but it was more despair. I started educating myself as to what autism was. When this impacts 1 out of 50 kids, a true epidemic, shouldn't I be familiar as a rather well-read, college-educated man, be more aware of this neurological disorder? I'm not alone here. This is an issue. When I tell somebody that Sophia has autism, an immediate sympathy registers on their face. A sort of vague comprehension ensues, like, what is autism? I don't quite understand what it is. Sometimes a bold individual will ask what autism is. This inspired me to think about how we can do our part to promote autism awareness, and educating people about what autism is. I decided I wanted to do something special to raise awareness funds for Autism Speaks, and to do it in honor of Sophia and many kids like her. Sophia, the holder of the keys to my heart, has me wrapped around her finger, and she knows that she's highly intelligent, she's affectionate, and I'm so proud of her. In short, our relationship is not unlike many other typically developing children and their parents and their fathers. But unlike many, we communicated primarily at first through PECs, a sort of picture description of what she wanted, like a pizza or whatever. And now we communicate in sentences like "I want blank" or "let's go to blank." We take her everywhere. We expose her to as many things as we possibly can, many situations as we can. We think we're pretty good parents. We worry about her safety, her future, her wants, her needs. More than anything, I want to know about her day. And sometimes I hear guys griping about their kids and never shut up. But I would give my right arm to hear about Sophie's day at school, her wants and her dreams. We as a society have the great capacity for great grace. Check out how a community in Hanover County, a few miles north of us, responded when searching for a child with autism lost in the woods. Where the surfer guys, complete with tattoos and dreads, working with Sophie out there to teach her how to surf. These are examples of communities coming together for one another, and I've been touched by these selfless acts. And I've been humbled by the outpouring of support we receive for our endeavor. I never in a million years would have expected this to be as rewarding and as successful an endeavor that we just completed. We decided to do something special to raise money and awareness for autism. My brother Colin and I climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, the tallest mountain in Africa and the tallest standalone mountain in the world. We coordinated with Autism Speaks, a charity that we work closely with. I blogged about it and bared my soul, both as training to do something as physically challenging and demanding, but also as a parent of a child who struggles day to day with autism. Hopefully, we've educated some folks about an epidemic that now affects 150 kids. I know climbing a mountain, well, we did, came to symbolize just a challenge for me, but these children have to go climb mountains every single day. And I will fight, and I will work harder, be more patient, and I'll help Sophie discover and unlock her abilities. And one day, I'll come home and she's going to tell me about her day. Please join me in this fight against autism. Learn about it, petition your politicians, and support our kids. The numbers are exponentially bad, and we really need to figure out what is happening to our children. Please join me as we look back at a life-changing adventure that my brother and I had as we look back on hiking Kilimanjaro for Sophie.
A dog say? What first dog? What does a dog say? What does a cat say? What does a horse say? What does a sheep say? What does Daddy say?
Autism is a neurological disorder that affects an individual's ability to relate to and communicate with others. Individuals often have difficulty understanding environmental cues and may not be aware that their actions may be dangerous or socially inappropriate. Many have sensitivities to touch, smells, tastes, and sounds. Autism symptoms can range in severity, and no two individuals on the autism spectrum are identical in symptoms and behaviors. As of March 2013, the CDC released the latest startling statistics. About 1 in 50 children are being diagnosed with autism nationally. This is a dramatic jump from the previous 1 in 88 statistic. And yet, there are no definitive answers as to why the rate continues to skyrocket. When our Sophie was diagnosed at about 2.5 years old, back in 2010, the rate was about 1 in 110 children. This rising trend is incredibly sobering. So let's try to put these numbers into perspective. Autism Speaks shares that more children are diagnosed with autism than all of those diagnosed with cancer, diabetes, AIDS, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, cystic fibrosis, and muscular dystrophy combined. Yet, funding for research is nowhere near adequate, and many families are still battling insurance companies to get coverage for therapies. And with more children being diagnosed, this is a problem that will likely persist for some time. This is why we're doing what we're doing, to shed light on this epidemic and try to raise some much-needed funds for Autism Speaks. Autism Speaks is an organization known worldwide for its commitment to provide families affected by autism a wealth of information and resource materials. Its advocacy has helped raise both awareness and funding for research aimed at discovering causes and treatments, as well as a cure. For more information, or if you suspect your child or family member may be showing signs of autism, please visit their website at www.autismspeaks.org.
So Mount Kilimanjaro sits 5,895 meters above sea level, 19,340 feet. It's the highest freestanding mountain in the world, so no mountain range, no Himalayas, no Rockies, no Andes behind it. It's the highest point in Africa, and it's also one of the 7 summits. You go through 5 climactic zones in the hike. We chose one of the 6 routes. We chose the Machame route to get to the top. It's the steepest and also the most scenic. You go from about 5,500 feet progressively to the last camp, which is Barafu at 15,000 feet for your summit. It is steep, grueling, long days, cold nights, not a lot of oxygen. You're at the top of Kilimanjaro on that climb. You are definitely way above the level where altitude, it can become a real problem. You actually saw many people on the trail coming down with various forms and stages or severity of altitude sickness. Thankfully it didn't happen to Campbell or myself. We took our guide's advice. We went slow. In Swahili they tell you to go pole pole, which is slowly slowly. Drink lots of water. We did that in spades. We actually, I think, started each day, I think Campbell with 4 liters, me with 5 liters, and we pretty much downed it by the end of the day. So we did our best, to take it easy and to really give us the best shot of summiting. Our guides from Climb Keeley have one of the best success rates on the mountain, more than double the average success rate, which is 40%. I think the Climb Keeley is at 90 plus. They did a fantastic job. Again, the reasons to do this climb, I mean, from a personal perspective, one, it's a great way to get to a place, Africa, which I had never been. It's exotic. What better way to see a place, to see a country and experience it by doing a climb like this or in a challenge like this. It's one of the 7 summits, which is also an appeal to be able to climb one of the highest points on a continent. It's not a technical climb, but it's a grueling climb physically and mentally. There's, when you don't have a lot of oxygen, you're sleeping in a tent, no showers, it's cold. It takes it out of you. And then lastly, I think it's, the environment there is changing rapidly. Climate change is having a big impact on the glaciers of Kilimanjaro. I mean, I've always, read descriptions of Kilimanjaro as this great white-capped mountain in Africa. The continent of Africa is a hot, dry at times, dusty place bisected by the equator, and here is this one place where year-round you've got white-capped mountains. Well, those white-capped mountains are disappearing at a very fast rate. I think they've lost, in the last decade, 5 to 6% of the glaciers per year, as opposed to the prior 100 years where they lost maybe 0.5% or 1%. So things are changing rapidly, and I think it's within 15, 20 years there may not be any glaciers left. Even though when we were at the top, actually the glaciers looked big. They looked big from our eyes, but obviously you can only imagine what it looked like 15 years ago, 30 years ago, 50 years ago. It would have been an amazing sight. It's actually a pretty easy mountain to get to. It's a direct flight from Amsterdam to Kilimanjaro Airport, and then there you're right either at Moshi or Arushu. The altitude there is 4,500 feet, 5,000 feet maybe. Again, the cool thing about this mountain is it's not a technical mountain to climb. While it's difficult and it's grueling, and you're dealing with altitude, and you're dealing with the cold, and you're dealing with sleeping in a tent and things, all the uncomfortable things that come with that. You don't need to be skilled at rock climbing, belaying. You don't need to be using an ice axe or crampons. So of the highest mountains in the 7 summits, this is actually one of the more climbable ones. But as I said before, there's plenty of altitude sickness and plenty of challenges, and it's a mountain that should not be underestimated. It was a ton of fun. It took us about 7 hours to get to the top. We left at 12:45 in the morning from Barafu Camp at 15,000 feet, and we got there about 7 hours later at the summit, 7:45. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. Bright blue skies, not a cloud in the sky. You could see into Kenya, you could see down towards Moshi, you could see across the mountain into the ash pit and across the other volcanic cones. There are 3 volcanic cones, and at the very top you're at one of the top of Kibo, which is or Huro Peak, which is one of the cones. A spectacular view of the glaciers, and really sights that are hard to repeat, and cameras really don't do justice to, and certainly they can't capture the emotion and the excitement and the elation you feel of having summited this physical challenge and mental challenge. Would I do it again? Certainly. If people really wanted to do it again, I think I would not force people to do it. They're going to have to want to do it because it is a grueling challenge. I mean, you've got to put up with discomfort for a number of days, and obviously deal with the altitude, which is not easy, not to be trifled with. But all in all, fantastic time, an experience of a lifetime. It was fantastic to do with my brother. It was fantastic to do this for charity and to raise the money we did. And I thank all the people who supported us and believed us and that we could do it. Thank you.
So my training for Kilimanjaro, I train pretty frequently, a couple times a week, probably 2 to 3 to 4 times a week in the gym. And then, outside the gym would be cardio, some running, and then hill climbing. In the gym, it was a lot of leg work, a lot of work with weights, a lot of work on the core. Wasn't much on treadmills. It was really lots of squats, lots of jumping, tons of kettlebells, kettlebell presses, kettlebell squats, Turkish get-ups, everything with a 16 kilogram, 20 kilogram, 24 kilogram, or even heavier if we were doing some bigger squats. Kettlebells, great workout, kind of work a lot of different muscle groups. Lots of pull-ups, lots of burpees, a lot of rope work, a lot of jump rope, a lot of things just get the legs ready for, the slog that is going up the mountain, up and down, and also in different types of terrain. Not just going up, but coming down, importantly. So getting the legs, all parts of the legs, quads, hamstrings, shins, calves, everything sort of ready for that climb. And then, outside that, the gym, it was really running, trying to run at really reasonably fast pace for me, which is to try to get down to kind of average an 8-minute mile, and then do some power hikes on the weekends. I did a bunch with my wife Grace, a couple with the kids as well, where you put your backpack on, a bunch of water to weigh you down, some weights in the backpack, and then just try to do as much elevation in a short amount of time as possible to kind of simulate being a little bit out of breath, a little bit tired, as you would be at higher elevation. So, all in all, hard training, fun, dropped some weight, felt in great shape on the mountain, did not feel challenged. From my legs, did not feel challenged. Hardest part was altitude, and was happy with the end result. And now I want to make sure I keep that shape that I got in, and got to figure out if there's another challenge like Kilimanjaro coming in the near term. Thanks.
won 3,000 meters. Machame Hut. Colin, how was the hike?
The hike was long,
Yeah.
but felt good. It was about 7 miles, maybe 4,000 plus feet of elevation. So it was actually all up, no, all uphill. But legs feel pretty good. I'm happy to be here and ready to sit down and have some dinner. Start.
What's your favorite part about that hike?
Just walking through the cloud forest.
I got you. Cool. All right. And did you feel tired? How do your legs feel?
I just feel a little tired. Actually, the feet feel tired, more tired. You know, it's just because you're constantly stepping on rocks.
I got you. All right.
When I jumped off, I had a bucket full of thoughts. When I first jumped off, I held that bucket in my hand. Ideas that would take me all around the world. I stood and watched the smoke behind a mountain curl. It took me a long time to get back on the train. Now I'm gone and I'll never look back again. I'm gone and I'll never look back at all. You know I'll never look back again. I turned my face into the howling wind. It took me a long time to get back on the train.
Mine video.
Yeah. Right now, what do you make of your first view of Keeley?
Looks high, looks cold,
Yeah.
but looks pretty impressive. If the view is anything like today, it'll be spectacular.
There you go.
It'll be well worth it. Well worth the lack of sleep.
How was your restful night last night?
It would rank up there among the worst. Let's see. Tent was pitched on a slight incline. Sleeping in mummy sleeping bags, which is always painful, and then catching your breath.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And let's just top it off by a big dose of jet lag.
Yeah.
So,
What do we have in store for today? We have day 2 hike.
Day 2 hike is pretty mellow. It's about 8 kilometers, a little less than that, 7-8 kilometers. We're going to finish by 12:30, so we're going to have a whole half day sitting on the mountain. We're only going to gain like, I don't know, 800 feet. Pretty mellow, which will be good. Hopefully we'll sleep better.
Yeah. So this is day 2. We're at about 10,000 feet in
Machame Hut.
Machame Hut. See you.
I backed my car into a cop car the other day, where he just drove off. Sometimes life's okay. I ran my mouth off a bit too much. What did I say? Well, you just laughed it off. It was all okay. And we'll all float on, okay. And we'll all float on, okay. And we'll all float on, okay. And we'll all float on anyway. Well, I bet you make you took every last dime with that scam. It was worth it just to learn some sleight of hand. That news comes, don't you worry, even when it lands. Good news will work its way to all them plans. We
wrapped up day 2. We're up about
600.
12,600. That up there is where we're trying to head to.
Far than me. See the snow? That's the slopes of Keeley.
We got a long way to go. We've entered the moorland here, which is sort of an interesting vegetative zone. You can kind of tell the clouds coming up. It's the highest that Colin and I have ever tried to sleep. We didn't do a very good job last night at 10,000, so hopefully we'll be tired enough that we get it done.
How was today's climb?
Today's climb was hard. I was under the impression it'd be a 2.5 hour, 3 hour piece of cake walk, but it was straight up. We gained a ton of altitude. We got to do some scrambling, which I thought was really fun. And I felt the first effects of altitude. I had a little headache, a little bit lightheaded, so we've really worked on the pace. But so far, so good. I have no bruises. I haven't fallen down yet. Colin's got me into the poles, which is kind of funny, but
there's some more of Keeley. It's peeking out a little bit more now.
But as you can see, 2 days down, but we have a long way to go.
And just look at this camp. This is how serious this adventure is. Look at this. And tent after tent after tent.
There's the latrine. Turn over there.
All right. Here's the mess tent. Here's our mess tent. We're going to eat tonight. Julius, the cook, is awesome. And here's the latrine right on the edge. So if you take a wrong step, it's a doozy.
And we would recommend going from the left side. So anyway, we'll look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Hopefully we're well rested because that's something that has eluded us so far.
Tomorrow's climb is what? We're going to Barranco.
Going to Lava Tower. We're going to do an acclimation climb where we're going to go to 15,000 feet and then come back down and sleep in Barranco.
All right. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Day 3, Shira Camp to Barranco via Lava Tower. Campbell and I think have climbed today. It's the highest we've ever been. 15,000 feet at Lava Tower. We had lunch. Wasn't a bad hike. You know, wasn't too steep. The downhill parts kind of sucks. Yeah. We kind of went from 12,640 feet to 15 down to 13,000. So it's one of these climb high, sleep low. Barranco is actually the biggest camp because all the different trails merge here.
Yeah.
But anyway, we were feeling pretty good, a little tingly. Campbell and I made the decision to take the Dimox last night. Campbell went first. And then I was like, I cannot have another bad night of sleep. We need our energy. So we got some sleep at 12,640 feet. Anyway, we're a little tingly. The one side effect is tingly fingers.
Here's a tour of our camp. There's our tent right there. Up there in the hill is our lavatory. There's our dining hall. And the guide's tent's right here. All right. How did you feel today, Colin?
I felt pretty good. You know, the air didn't feel too thin. Legs felt good. You know, the downhill obviously puts more pressure on your quads, which, you know,
and your knees. But anyway, it
All right.
felt pretty good.
Cool. See you tomorrow.
All right, see you.
This is Barranco Camp. People are packing up, ready to hit the wall and make their way to Karunga or Barafu, depending if they're going 6-hour hike or 3-hour hike, depending if they're taking 7 days or 6 days to climb Kili. Way down there in the valley is the town of Moshi, which you could see at night. It was a clear night. You could see all the lights from Moshi. I'm going to move my way towards it. It's going to be a little hard to see because of the sun, but you may be able to see the line of people going up Barranco Wall. It's going to be, as they like to say, very pole, very slow up. And then if you look just up here, you can see some of the rim of Kili and some of the glaciers. We came down through that pass over there. Spent the night here, pretty cold. Our campsite was right over here, now being disassembled and ready for our move down up to the Barranco Wall. I think we're going to try to summit early tomorrow morning. We're going to go all the way to Barafu and not stop, and get up about midnight and try to do the summit a day early. Anyway, we'll talk to you from Barafu or from the summit. Bye.
Try not to breathe, I can hold my head still with my hands at my knees. These eyes are the eyes of the old, shivering and bold. I will try not to breathe, this decision is mine. I have lived a full life. These are the eyes that I want you to remember.
Here we are in Karunga Camp. This is
Karunga
Camp. This was intended to be our stopping point for day 4. However, we've determined that we can go on to Barafu and start our summit climb tonight. We are at an altitude of 13,600.
Just under 4,000 meters. That's like 3,940 meters.
Yeah. And we're feeling good. Tired. Got a long day ahead of us.
How was Barranco Wall?
Barranco Wall was fun, very crowded. I was very impressed by the porters who were able to navigate some of those scrambles with big things on their head. It's quite impressive to see.
But I had a lot of fun. I'd have a lot more fun if it was 10,000 feet lower. But
Was it like a scramble back in Richmond?
no, it was not like a scramble back in Richmond or even Charlottesville for that old rag. But anyway, it's 12 o'clock right now. We're going to talk to you when we get to Barufu, and hopefully we'll be preparing to go to bed in what's undoubtedly going to be freezing conditions for 3 or 4 hours, so we can get up at 11 or midnight to attack what we came here to do for our families.
Conquer the beast. All right, I'm going to take a panorama here. Of, you can see Moshi. Down there at the bottom of the hill is Moshi.
To breathe. I will try not to worry. I have seen things that you will never see. Leave it to memory me. Don't dare me to breathe. I want.
Here we are. Colin, you ready?
Yeah, ready to roll.
All right, we got, it looks like it's 5 o'clock. We're going to eat some dinner, and we're going to try to sleep, and we're going to be woken up at midnight, where we're going to have probably one of the toughest hikes of our entire lives. Out in bitter cold, we're layered to the top of Africa. So this is what we came here for.
This is our lovely, this is where we've been sleeping, just so you guys get a picture. This is what,
This is our Hilton.
this is the Hilton. This has kept us
Moderately warm.
moderately warm when we're in our sleeping bags with our beanies on. But yeah, no, we got a 4,000 plus feet of altitude to climb. We're about 15,000 feet at Barafu. We had a brutal day today. It was a long hike.
6-hour hike, which we're going to replicate tomorrow, and then some, because we're going to be climbing down to another camp where we're going to relax for one night, and then we're going to get off the mountain.
Day early.
Day early.
Changing hotels, nice beds, massage, and take a bath because we are dirty in every nook and cranny.
That is correct, and we're going to do laundry to spare our wives.
And we just gave our feet a bath in baby wipes. That's how desperate we are. So, Nicole Grace, you're lucky you're not here.
All right, well, we look forward to talking to you guys after we've summited.
All right.
One shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted. One moment that you captured, just let it slip.
You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity
So after 6 months of planning, after countless hours fundraising, putting this together, to try to help raise awareness for autism and autism awareness and Autism Speaks, we have come to the top of what we tried to do. We have accomplished our goal, and although it's just a mountain, it came to symbolize a challenge, and we conquered it. So I think there's a lot to be said for these challenges, and the challenges that my daughter and many others will have to go through in life. Again, this is just a mountain. Sophie's got to go through these hardships every single day. So I'm very proud of my brother and very proud of myself. Quite an accomplishment, and I thank everybody for their support. And we did it. All right, let's go. All right, now we go.
There you go. Hey guys, at the summit, we made it this morning, 7:30. It was a brutal climb, probably one of the harder things we'll probably do physically and mentally. The 500 feet of elevation was pretty brutal, but we made it safe and sound. Here's the sign. Here are our guides. Here's Patrick. Hi Patrick. Hi. There's Anderson. You can still see some of the glaciers in the background. Still here. There's actually one as you move back towards the summit. And we're on the top of the crater. Fantastic. I'm proud of Campbell for doing this, for organizing it. It's a fantastic charity. And glad we raised a bunch of money. It was a lot of fun. And now still more to go. Now we have to get down, which is not going to be easy either. All right, see ya. Good. All right, so this is our last time here. We finished up our hike. We finished up our last night here in Weka camp, and we slept like babies. All it took was climbing Kilimanjaro for 8 hours, coming down, and then hiking down again, another 6 hours to get to this camp location. Our legs were about to fall off. We slept like babies from like 8:30 to 6. It's fantastic.
I think we climbed, what, 15,000 to 19,400, and then all the way down to the back to 15, then to
10. Yep.
So
we're here at 10,000, which of course after our week feels like sea level. So now we just have a short 2-hour hike in which we're going to exit the Kilimanjaro and at Kilimanjaro National Park. We're going to get gold star certificates because we reached the top, but it certainly was a trip of a lifetime, and I thank my brother for coming along. And
it was awesome.
It was certainly rewarding. It was also grueling, and it was also adventurous, and it was also dirty and smelly, and I mean, our bags, and we are in desperate need of baths and a shave, as you can tell.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. Here's Campbell.
So hopefully the hotel will still will
Dad.
let us in, even though we look like homeless people. So
all right.
See you later.
Bye.
Down and Billy Mom, talking really not needed mom. So I keep a freely mom, especially out freely mom. Keys to my beamer mom, holler at Beanie Mom, CD Mom. Cheap and rolling deeper than any mom and Jenny's mom. Through you city, back up the kings, now with nice players, giant slayers who snatch your life and they tripe when they do produce and sell the same me twice. But they ice baby all over close to never sober from broke to having brokers. My price range is over, now I'm knocking like you're over. Let me in, Bill Gates, Donald Trump, let me in, spin, I got money to live my friends, now we in, candy beans, skin wood and tears, now I'm in, woo, and lesbian twins, now seeing, through the pen, I make my end. Sweet home Alabama, where the skies are blue. Sweet home Alabama, but I'm coming home to you. Here I come.
Just a little bit of soul.
scared, I would. And if I was bored, you know I would. And if I was yours, but I'm not. All the kids have always known that the emperor wears no clothes, but they bow down to him anyway. It's better than being alone. If I was scared, I would. And if I was bored, you know I would. And if I was yours, but I'm not. Now you're knocking at my door, saying please come out with us tonight. But I would rather be alone than pretend I feel alright. If the businessmen drink my blood, like the kids in art school said they would, then I guess I'll just begin again. You say, can we still be friends? If I was scared, I would. And if I was pure, you know I would. And if I was yours, but I'm not. Now I'm ready to stop. All right. Yeah. Well, I must admit, I can't explain any of these thoughts racing through my brain. It's true. Baby, I'm howling for you. Alright. There's something wrong with this plot. The actors here have not got a clue. Baby, I'm howling for you. Mockingbird, can't you see? Little girl got a hold on me like glue. Baby, I'm howling for you. Yeah. Throw the ball to the stick, swing and miss and catch us mid-strike too. Baby, I'm howling for you.
So now the hike is over. Back to reality. I'm working back here at Enterprise. My brother's back in Morgan Stanley. back to being a normal guy, but I'm back to my most important job, taking care of my daughter Sophia and my daughter Emerson. Our struggle continues against autism. Nightly, we have our moments of patience when we're having to really calm down, but through that we get breakthroughs from Sophie. Like the other night, spontaneously, she said, "I love you, Daddy," which is a tremendous deal, because there's one thing to engage in repeating after me, but it's another thing to say that spontaneously. So that makes it all worthwhile. We continue to strive to unlock her abilities, and we are well prepared for the future. And I believe that we will prevail, for Sophie is such an amazing kid, and everybody who knows her loves her. And I can't wait to see her fly. I am very proud of her, but she's not alone. The most recent statistics that came out 2 days ago have pegged 1 out of every 50 children now have autism. This is an epidemic. This is something that needs national attention. Strive to tell as many people as possible about it. We have to do our part. So that's what we really strove for in this hike, was not just, of course, raising money for a worthwhile charity like Autism Speaks, but also bringing the attention to people, because this is impacting so many of our children. The time is now to demand answers from ourselves, from our politicians, from our government, from science. We need to do our part, and we need to help these children. So where we go from now in terms of our adventures, Colin seems to be set on conquering the 7 peaks, the rest of them, which might take him to Antarctica, Indonesia, or Chile. He can have Antarctica. No interest in doing that one. My future might be in Peru, following the ancient Incan trail. But wherever we're going, we're going to have a good time. We're going to be adventurous, and we're going to continue to do what we can to see the world, to see different cultures, and raise awareness for different causes, including autism. I'd like to thank a few people, including my beautiful wife, Nicole, who has been so supportive during this whole time, and who has really taken care of the kids and has been strong. You know, when I'm at the gym or whatever, it's not easy to take care of 2 kids, including a child with autism and a toddler. But she did it, and she did a great job, and she's been always there for me, and I love her with all my heart. To my brother, thank you so much for accompanying me. That was a great time to spend with you, to get to know you, because we're so far, apart across the coast. But it has been a tremendous thrill and an honor to get to know you this well. It was a great bonding experience. Look forward to spending more time with you and your beautiful family as well. I'd like to thank at Enterprise. The Enterprise family was very, very supportive of me, including my area manager, Tom McCombs, who let me have a training schedule that's not quite conducive to the branch manager schedule, and my assistant manager, Katie, who put up with a lot, and who also threw me a fantastic going away party. I'd like to thank at autismspeaks.org, Christina Marquesh and Kevin Deeds. My trainer, I'd like to thank at American Family Fitness, Chase, Climb Keeley, Tiffany Watson, and our 2 guides, Patrick and Anderson. And Julius, you did a great job cooking. However, the red sauce needs to stop. It's still attacking the fabric of my clothes. I cannot get it off. So just hold off on that. And to all the donors and supporters who spread awareness, thank you so much. And to everybody else who's been involved in this fight, we'll keep on going. Thank you so much.